Good day, everyone. My name is Dayang Nursyafiqa Nabeela, and I'll be covering cost classification and behavior in a. Now, let's look at how these costs add up in actual numbers. This pie chart gives us a visual breakdown of InnoTech cost structure. The largest segment in blue is steel casing at 57.7%. The green segment is assembly labor at 24%. Orange represent equipment maintenance, split into variable and fixed. Yellow is factory rent and red is electricity. This visualization reinforces what we saw earlier, which are variable costs dominate the structure. So why does this matter? It means InnoTech total cost will rise or fall quickly with changes in production volume. That's that's essential for setting prices, planning production, and managing risk, especially in high demand or low margin situations. In summary, classifying costs by behavior helps InnoTech stay financially aware and operationally efficient by knowing which costs scale and which remain constant. They can better manage resources, forecast profits, and make smarter decisions moving forward. That's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Darren and I will be presenting budgeting and forecasting. Budgeting and forecasting is the process of estimating future incomes, costs, and profits as shown here. For InnoTech Manufacturing LDT, this focuses on the first quarter after expanding its HVAC operation. It helps management plans for cash flows, control spending, set targets, and make informed decisions, and also identify the financial risk early to avoid problems. Why should we implement this stuff? Why should we implement budgeting and forecasting? Because selling only 400 units of this in the first quarter results of a loss of 90,000 ringgits, as it does not cover all fixed and variable costs. To reach profitability, Innotech must sell more than 400 units to increase revenue or reduce costs. For example, maybe the material, maybe the labor, or the overhead expenses. And finally, the budget provides a clear financial target for management. Increase sales or cut costs to avoid losses and achieve profit. So, from here, we can see that the detailed budget breakdown for the Innotech. You can see for the item we have sales revenue, we have variable costs, contribution margin, fixed costs, and net operating income. And for the calculation, as you can see, we have 4,000 unit times with the unit selling price for the first one, the sales revenue, which is 2,500, and then for the variable cost, which is 1,600. That includes from the 1,600 includes the 980 ringgit of direct materials, steel, copper insulation, 420 ringgit for the direct labor, assembly line workers, and 200 for the variable overhead, quality control, packaging. So for the quarterly fixed expense, from you can see the fixed cost, which is 450,000 ringgit. It actually includes the factory lease, which is 180,000 ringgits per quarter, and salaries 200,000 ringgits, equipment depreciation, which is 45,000 ringgits, and insurance of 25,000 ringgits. For the contribution margin, which is the CM, to get the amount, which is the 360,000 ringgits, is from the sales revenue minus by the variable costs, which you can see 1 million ringgit minus the 640,000 ringgit, we can get the 360,000 ringgit. For the final part, which is the net operating income, the net income computation, we minus the contribution margin and also we minus from the fixed costs, we get around negative 90,000 ringgits, which basically means for 400 units we are not making any profit, we're actually making loss, gaining loss. So how do we produce profit and how do we counter loss? So from here comes in the break even and profit planning. So for the break even point, it is the sales volume at which InnoTech, the company, covers all fixed variable costs without making any profit or loss. It helps managers to know how many HVAC units needs to be sold each quarter to avoid losses during expansion. So from the general formula, you can see here the break-even point is the fixed cost divided by the selling price per unit minus with the variable cost per unit. You can see here there are three scenarios from the table below, which is the below break-even, at break-even, and above break-even. So as we can see that if we sell 400 units, it will result us in loss of 90,000 ringgit. And if we sell more than 500, which is 600, it resulted us to gain profit for around 90,000 ringgit. And if we sell 500 units, it resulted us with no loss and no profit. As you can see from the table on the right side, this is how we identify where to gain profit and how much loss can we get if we sell per unit. For example, you can see if it's above 500 unit that we sell, we will be gaining much more profit. And if we sell less than 500, it will result us in negative values, which is a loss. So from the table previously, which is the units sold, we can use that to make a graph to identify, to create a break-even chart, which is the break-even chart is a graphic device that usually demonstrates how the company's sales volume, costs, and revenues are related. And it also reveals at what point the business generates no profit and no loss. From the left side of this slide, you can see the even break chart. It shows that in the middle where the line intersects, it would be the break even point, which is 500 units at our case. And more than that, you can see the area inside the two of between two of the lines, which is the profit, and the area before the break even point is a loss. You can see here the sheets that we've done, the chart that we've done, and it corresponds to the table that we've done before.
So good day everyone, my name is Sabin. So today I'm going to present a topic about capital investment and project evaluation. So this slide presents key data for evaluating InnoTech investment in robotic welding equipment. The initial cost is 300,000 ringgit Malaysian with a useful life of 5 years and expected annual cost savings of 90,000 ringgit Malaysian. Using a 10% discount rate, we apply net present value and PEV and internal rate of return IRR techniques to assess the project's financial viability. These figures set the foundation for our analysis, which we will explore in the next slides. In this slide, we will discuss about NPV. So this slide explains the net present value or NPV, which is a key financial tool used to assess the profitability of our proposed investment. NPV measures the difference between the present value of expected cash inflows and the initial investment, accounting for the time value of money. In our case, the investment cost is 300,000 ringgit Malaysia with 90,000 ringgit Malaysia in its expected annual savings over 5 years. By applying a 10% discount rate, we calculated the present value of each year's cash flow as shown in the table. The total present value of these inflows is 341,170 ringgit Malaysia. After subtracting the investment cost, we get an NPV of 41,170 ringgit Malaysia. Since the value is positive, it indicates the investment is expected to generate a net financial gain and should be considered financially valuable. Let's move to this slide. It's about internal rate of return or IRR. This slide presents the IRR, which shows the actual return this investment is expected to generate. We use the interpolation method between a lower rate of 15% and a higher rate of 17%. At 15%, the NPV is slightly positive at 1,694 ringgit Malaysia, while at 17%, it turns negative at 12,059 ringgit Malaysia. Using these values, we calculated the IRR to be 15.25%. Since this IRR exceeds the company required rate of 10%, it means the project offers a strong financial return. The margin 5.25% margin confirm that the investment is profitable, low risk, and aligned well with InnoTech goal of cost-efficient automation.
Effective inventory management is essential for smooth production flow. By understanding this inventory, it helps the Innotech manufacturing maintaining efficiency and reduce waste. There are four types of inventory used in this manufacturing. First is raw material. Raw material refer to essential component, for example, steel casing, which are directly involved in the HVAC production process. Second is work in process that include semi-finished HVAC unit which are moving through various production stages. Next is a finished goods, which are fully assembly tested and ready to sell HVAC unit. The manufacturing also have MRO, which stand for maintenance, repair, and operation inventory. This type of inventory includes spare parts, tool, and lubricant. Work in process can be minimized by implementing this two method system. First method is just in time. It allows the manufacturing to align the raw material deliveries with actual production schedule. This approach prevents the accumulation of excess material. Second method is best barcode perpetual inventory system. This system enable real-time tracking of raw material, work in process and finished goods and able to improve the inventory accuracy by reducing manual recording error. By implementing those two method system, it shows a significant benefit to Innotech manufacturing. There are few benefits, but here I will share only two. The first is more accurate stock and data improve costing. Second is those systems also help to reduce downtime because accurate data reduce tracking time. Next is performance measurement and KPI. This table summarizes key engineering and operational KPI used to measure Innotech manufacturing performance. The cost per unit of 2080 reflects that total production expenses, which include material, labor, and overhead. The machine downtime has been reduced to 5%, demonstrating improved equipment availability. Next is production efficiency stand at 95%, meaning Innotech is achieving nearly its full output potential. And last but not least, a high inventory accuracy rate of 97% confirm that effectiveness of the barcode integrated tracking system is fully
Hello, my name is Mohamad Aiman bin Azman. So I'll present about the project cost management. First of all, is why the cost management is matter because it is to ensure the expansions stays on the budgets, have the Innotech stay above the break evens, which is the 500 units per quarter, support the ROI goals from the budgeting and capital investment. It takes the problems before they impact the profitability. Secondly, is about the cost management approach. So, how we can manage the cost from this tree, which is the cost baseline, which is around 1.09 million ringgits, and then the real-time monitoring, which is track weekly spending versus plan, variance analysis, which is investigates the cost overruns quickly. You need to focus on the material labor, and also energy. Equals drivers from the section 2 and 4. Next is about the tool that we use. So there are three tools, which is a Gantt chart, Excel tracker, and a dashboard. So the purpose of a Gantt chart is to track the project schedule and spending a timeline. For the Excel tracker is to monitor the unit costs, labor hours, and total expenses. For the dashboard is proposed to be a visual summary of costs, sales, and KPIs. Early warning help prevent loss and guided decision making. And for the next part is about strategic linkage. The cost management supports these four section, which is the break-even planning, which is prevent losses below 500 unit loss, 500 unit sold. Excuse me. Capital investment itu for monitors robotic equipment cost versus NPV targets. Inventory control, which is tracks costs from GIT and WIP inventory strategies. KPI performance, which is control costs or units, improve the ROI and efficiency. And also the last part is about the takeaway, the key to takeaways. The first of all, InnoTech use smart tools and active monitoring to manage the project costs. It is helps to ensure the expansion is financially sustainability and profitable. It is also links all earlier decisions, which is budget, inventory, and investments, to the real time cost control. It is also a better decision, which is stronger ROI. So for this part of the decision making tools, why use the decision making tools is it because to help evaluate costs, risks, and benefits of major decisions. It is also support data driven choice for InnoTech expansions. The tools used is also a cost benefit analysis CBA and also expected monetary value EMV3. So for the CBA in-house versus outsourcing fan assemblers, we can see it from the table, which is a criteria in-house and versus outsourcing. From the criteria, we can see unit cost, defect rate, rework cost, and a total monthly cost. From the table, we can see the total monthly cost for the in-house, which is 232,800 ringgits. Is it more expensive from outsourcing? So the outsourcing save at least 21,920 ringgits per month, but um, the quality risk must be managed. So for this part, which is a decision tree, robotic welding versus manual welding. So it is the InnoTech company will have two options, which is option A and option B. Option A is invest in robotic welding, which is 300 around 300K. It will have two demand, which is high and low. High demand, which is 60%, will give benefits of 600K ringgits. For low demand, which is 40%, will give benefits of 300K ringgits. So for the option B, continue manual welding, it is low cost and but the EMB will be 0 ringgits. Uh, for me, it for me choose the robotic welding because it is high returns and also aligned with the IRR or NPV analysis. So for the strategic benefit of tools, it is aligned with four sections of our reports, which is budget planning, section number 4, capital investment, section number 6, inventory strategy, section number 7, KPI targets, which is section number 8. These tools help InnoTech choose smarter, reduce costs, and manage risk during expansions.
For conclusion, to complete our analysis shows that InnoTech HVAC expansion is both financially viable and strategically aligned with the company's long-term goals. However, its success depends on meeting key targets, especially selling at least 500 units per quarter to break even. With the proposed cost-saving strategies such as lean manufacturing and improved inventory control systems, along with the investment in robotic welding showing a strong return, the company is positioned for greater efficiency and profitability. If executed effectively, this expansion will not only boost operational performance but also enhance InnoTech competitive advantage in the HVAC market.